Thank you. All right. So, okay, so good morning, everybody. Apologies, I'm fiddling with this thing because the rock star I just posted is still in intensive care in hospital, but he's feeling a lot better and he's able to walk around, and he should be. He's hoping to be able to go home right from intensive care. I don't know how that works, but anyway, that's how it is. So I'm going to do one other thing here. Okay. So today, this is the continuation of the mindset of people with the growth mindset. So obviously, I'm going to talk about Dan in a minute, but the slaughterhouse of failure is not in our destiny. We will persevere until we succeed. With the modified, but that's Og Mandino, highly recommended reading. But it can be that the slaughterhouse of failure is in our destiny if we quit. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the fact that we are curious people. So we achieve something, we do something, we manage to make something happen. But then the question is, we all have in our minds.
More important because it helps ground in where you are.
Sorry, could you mute yourselves? Because I can't.
We're practicing.
So the next thing is, what's next? We always have questions. What do we do next? How did I do it? How can I do it?
9 milligrams.
Sorry, I don't know who that is. Let me see if I can mute. I'm sorry, can you guys mute yourselves?
Yeah, it was somebody called Melanie.
Melanie, okay, thank you.
I muted. Usually they mute automatically. Sorry about that.
No, that's no problem. Thank you. I'm trying to fiddle with this thing. So the question is, what's next? How high can I go? You know, what more can I do? How much more can I make? How many more can I have? We always have these questions because we have this curiosity about what's next. How did I do this? How can I be better? How did this guy do it? How did that guy do it? What did he do? How long did it take? Why is it taking me so long? Where did he get his information or her information? How can I better understand? How can I be a better teacher? How can I be a better learner? How can I learn faster? What do I need to learn? What difference will it make? So the thing is, these are questions that we have to ask ourselves, because on this journey of business that we're in, we're actually watching a lot of people. We've got people that are on our teams. We've got people that are not on our teams, but are in our family of Pharmanex, Newskin, Pharmanex. It's a family. And it becomes important that we observe, that we listen, that we see, that we introspect, that we analyze. Because otherwise, we get up in the morning and go to bed in the evening. 5 years have gone by, and we haven't really progressed. We've just been in that treadmill of routine. But we need to pause. And Linda Howard she gave us a talk on Tuesday, and she's been following somebody called Johnny G. Now, Linda Howard is a bodybuilder, and she's incredible. She was one of 17 in the world to compete for this particular event. And this Johnny G, who's her guru, had 3 questions. What time is it? Where are you? And who are you? So, and this is something that came up in a conversation with Dan this morning. What time is it? Well, the time is now. Right now. Got to be in the present. Where are you? I'm here. Who are you? I am this moment. And Dan was talking about that this morning when he said he started got complacent because he climbs mountains. Mountains. And he fell off a ladder, fell off the roof. Because you become complacent, you're not in the now, you're not focused on the now, you're not concentrating on the now. And you're not aware because you take things for granted. So you got to keep analyzing to see where you are. How good are you? How better can you be? What do you need to do? How do you need to do it? How can I be a better person? How can I be a better father, husband, wife, daughter, son, brother? How can I better serve my country? There's a big one. How can I serve my country better? Because we always take, I think it was Kennedy said, it's not so much what the country can do for me, but what I can do for my country. Gone off the tangent, but it's relevant because it's questioning, it's introspection, it's part of our mind growth. We should be asking ourselves all the time, how can I be better? How can I help somebody? How can I learn more? Why am I a slow learner? Or why am I learning something that is irrelevant? Is it irrelevant? These are all questions. Like, for example, simple thing, I got a headache. Why did I get a headache? How did I get a headache? When do I get headaches? How often do I have headaches? Silly things, I'm just saying. But these are questions that we need to constantly ask ourselves. And in our business, we have a bank of information and a whole population of people that we can draw knowledge from. We can draw examples from people who are really good at what they do. Everybody on the call here, every one of us has achieved something in our lives. How did we do it? Why did we do it? So in our growth mindset, it's about growth. About curiosity. And the curiosity has to lead to action. It's not just a question of, how did I do that? Oh, I wonder, I don't know. No, I did it because I was persistent. I did it because I was constant. I did it because I took the time to reflect and to see and to step by step try and do something better. And that's what our business is about, mindset. And it's mindset at every single turn of what we do in our lives. Everything we do in our lives is about mindset. We can be complacent, like we were just joking with Dan this morning. Can't make him laugh because he's got 7 broken ribs, but he actually said that. He said, I was just thinking about how complacent I was because you just take it for granted. It's in the routine. It's just a roof, it's only, 30 feet. Oh, I've gone up 500, I've gone up 3,000 feet. What's 30 feet? Be in the now. Question. Think about it. So I also wanted to mention something briefly, and then I'd like to open it for anybody that's got this, that's on here that would like to comment. I just a little bit off the subject of curiosity, but next week is Thanksgiving. And I just wanted to sow the seeds about truly thanksgiving, the reflection of thanksgiving. It's like when we say, Happy Christmas, do we mean it? Happy Easter, do we mean it? What do we mean by that? Happy Thanksgiving. What does it mean to each one of us? Thanksgiving. I was thinking about again, I was thinking about Dan this morning. You know, last week he was perfectly fine. And there he is now in intensive care in just a second, in literally in a minute, in intensive care, completely out of action. Thanksgiving, thank God he's there. Thank God he's fine. Now, lot to be thankful for. A lot. We all do. We don't know where we're going to be tomorrow. If we're going to be around tomorrow, of course, please God, we will be, but I'm just saying. So I wanted to just have those two subjects, if you will, about the mindset of curiosity, if anybody would like to add. And I will say, are you curious? How are you learning from your curiosity? What are you doing to better yourself? What are you doing to better the people around you? How are you doing that? If anybody wants to comment, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll make a comment. Great talk today. Yeah, you know, when we're children, we're very curious, right? But as we get to be adults, we lose that curiosity. We kind of get jaded in our thinking and you know, and the way we, you know, perceive things, and that limits our growth, right? When we're curious, that keeps our learning going and our mindset strong. So yeah, great conversation today. Just wanted to add that.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm glad Dan's doing better. I mean, we always got to be grateful for today, right? Because we don't know, can't guarantee tomorrow. So yeah, Thanksgiving is just a great day to reflect, but we should be Thanksgiving every day, right? So
100%.
Awesome.
100%. Thank you, John. I totally agree. Gratitude is one of the biggest things that we need to have every single day, every day. And we go to get up in the morning and we go to bed at night. All day, think about it.
I'd love to piggyback off of Johnny about, you know, curiosity and how as children, you know, we are curious, and when we're adults, you know, other environmental and society kind of hinders our curiosity. But I like to ask, you know, thought-provoking questions. You know, I like to ask people, how's your energy today, instead of how are you? And yeah, I totally agree with gratitude. You know, people say gratitude's the best attitude. And I make sure that I show gratitude and I tell gratitude, and not just, you know, thank you. You know, I tell them specifically why I'm thanking them. And when I get gratitude in return, it's very sweet. So I am grateful for you, Lawrence. Your leadership is so impactful and life-changing. And Dan as well. I always say I come for Lawrence, but I really stay for Dan. But today, Lawrence, I am here for you, my dear. You know, I like to razzle you, but I'm glad that Dan is healing up, and I am grateful for our friendship and your impactful, transformative leadership.
Thank you. Thank you. And I agree. You just said gratitude is the best attitude. I like that. I wrote it down. Dr. Scalia. Joe.
Good morning. Yes, good morning, all. I'm grateful that Dan's doing much better. I've been keeping in touch with him and Katie and seeing how he's developing. You know, the person who's always been a good example of gratitude and mentorship is you, Lawrence. And I remember a few times when I would get all caught up in my own head as far as prospecting or the business or whatever. You know, the one thing you always say is you're making it about you. It's not about you. When you make it about others and how you can serve and how you can be there, and like you're saying today, creating a curiosity on how you can help that person in whatever way you're capable of doing, then the possibilities are endless as far as who we can reach out to and who we could serve and who we can make a difference for. And it makes the business a lot easier, and it makes your life more purposeful when you see what gives you the fulfillment of helping others. And this business really helps us do that in a structured way. And as far as that, with the structure, it's about, making, meeting, and maintaining our standards, whether it be interpersonally with the business. Those metrics that you can look at will keep you on track if you're doing the right thing, especially if you're doing it to help others. So thanks for the call, Lawrence, and I appreciate you very much, as you know.
Thank you. Not about me, but thank you, Joe. Yeah, but I think this is huge if we can measure our own progress. Of course, the best way is to have somebody that helps us do it. For example, you have a mentor, you have somebody that, like a runner, who runs beside you. Joe, for example, starts riding his bike every morning at 5 a.m, and he rides 30 miles a day by himself. Now, not very few people are going to be able to be so self-motivated and to be so disciplined. But if you've got somebody that can pace with you and critique you and say, look, I think we could do this better. I think you did this okay, but I think this could be improved. And if we can do the same in a very honest way to help the people around us, we can all grow. I always ask for feedback on everything because, we ramble on about life and we think we're doing the right thing, but you only, if you get on a flight from Miami to Rome and you don't continually tweak your journey, even if you go off by 2 degrees at the beginning, you'll end up in Moscow because the journey is so long and a little difference will take you off course. And this is what I think we need to do. We need to be constantly questioning, am I on the right track? Am I doing the right things? Am I saying the right things? Am I really helping somebody? So when we talk about scanners, we're there to solve problems. We're there to help the healthcare professional have more time, help his or her patients and clients, and help them make money. How nice is that? And oh, by the way, we make it too. But that's the priority and how we can do that and constantly. And I think Vince is somebody that has also done an extremely good job in trying to understand how he can better serve the people that he's placed a scanner with. So he actually stays in the clinic with them and he travels all over the place and stays with them. And I think this is a laudable thing when we actually take the time to study it and see it and how can we be better and help the person. Anybody else?
Lauren, I think one of the things you're referring to is that you said you can't do it. You didn't say it exactly this way, but you can't do it alone. Is that I think we all need to surround ourselves with the right people. And I call those people advocates. So the right advocates. So the right advocates are the people with the tough love, like the Lawrence Cassinis of the world. So basically, they'll pick you up when you were down, but they'll give you a good swift kick in the ass if you need it. Not the misery loves company crowd. So we need to steer clear of the misery loves company crowd because, they're always looking for new members. And so what you say absolutely hits home. Surround yourselves with the right people. I love talking to Joe. Even when he's out there riding his bike, he'll answer his phone. I shouldn't say that, but I've had great conversations. They're kind of pick-me-ups when you need them because everybody needs that occasionally. So, and to stay in the right mindset.
Thank you, Jerry. And that's from a Marine, discipline, team player. That's what makes a Marine. Team and discipline. Anybody else? Nobody? Okay. Well, the
Hey,
theme,
Lawrence,
yes.
this is Kelly. I just wanted to make a comment. It was a great call this morning. A lot of great topics. I wanted to put a fine point on kind of what Dan was alluding to about being present. So there's a Japanese art form called Satori to mindset.
Oh yeah.
And what it relates to is being present in the moment, what you're doing, focused. And what it is think of it like this. If you're going to skydive and right before you jump out of the plane, you're not thinking, did I leave the lights on in my room? Did I forget to, pick something up at the grocery store? You're thinking about skydiving. That's all your focus is. I'm jumping out of this plane. So the art form is Satori, and you link that to exactly what you're focusing on in the moment. And then when you can do that and be laser focused, you don't become complacent. You don't lose that focus. What possibly happened to Dan in that instant, all of a sudden you find yourself in a different situation. So I just wanted to kind of share that, but great call today. A lot of good topics.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this Satori is it's part of what we were talking about. Being there, being what Linda Howard was saying. What time is it now? Where are you? I'm here. Who are you? I'm in this moment. So that's basically what Satori is, I think. And thank you, Kelly, for that. So the other thing that we'll discuss next week is on Friday, everybody wants is about not looking foolish. How secure are you of yourself? That's one of the questions that we have for today as well. How secure are you in your own skin? Are you afraid of making a fool of yourself? Are you afraid of saying the wrong things? Are you afraid of being criticized? These are questions that we also have to ask ourselves. What if I say this and he says that, or she says that? These are things that it helps with our own certainty of who we are. How secure are you in what you're doing? How sure are you of the business that you're in? Are you really sure that this is the right business? Are you sure it's the right answers that you're giving people? Is it the right company? You've got to be absolutely 100% sure, 110%, because that will give you the passion to be authentic and to be credible. If you've got passion and you walk your talk, you're authentic. And if you're authentic, you've got credibility. And if you've got credibility, you've got it all. And this is what it is. It's trying to help people solve their problems with something that we know that they may not know, or that they probably don't know. So, how secure are you in your own skin? It's a question. Everybody should answer that. Are you really sure of who you are? Are you secure?
Lawrence, all of these questions boil down to whether or not you are contemplating your life and the events in it. And the majority of people, I believe, bumble through life without doing that very much, if ever. And to the question of gratitude, that is a way of focusing on the good that has happened for you. And if you think through the implications of what that good is that has happened to you, then that's a compelling thing, because unless you do that, you can't really, and as Joe says, thinking about your thinking, you can't really, if you don't contemplate that, you can't really understand what the alternatives might have been, and therefore the extent to which it is appropriate that you're grateful. And it's often said that gratitude is the shortest lived emotion. And I think there's an element of truth to that. There's very much a "what have you done for me lately" sort of an attitude abroad these days. And again, I think this goes back to the considered life, because if you're considering the life, you can then consider who you are and what your circumstances are and what the now means to you.
Yeah, thank you. You're right. We've got to extend the now to be a full-time job, because there's actually, I think it's a book, it's called the Dash. And the dash is the day we're born and the time between the day we're born and the day we die. And that's life. It's a dash. It's a dash through life. Well, how do we punctuate that innings that we've got, that time we've got, that dash of time that we have in this world? How do we punctuate that? By expanding the now, by being very in the now, by asking questions, by being very serious, about everything we do, and about think it through. That's with everything. Anyway, anybody else got anything? No? Well, it's right on the time there, and I appreciate everybody's time. Next Friday, if I will be on if anybody is interested. Or tell me, should we have it or not? I'm quite open to suggestions. Is everybody going to be busy for Black Friday, or should we have the call or not?
Have the call.
Yeah?
Have the call.
All right.
Agreed. Have the call.
Okay.
Have the call, please. We love you, Lawrence.
Yes, we need the daily pick or the weekly pickup of Lawrence.
Yes, please. I agree.
We're grateful for you guys.
Thank you very much for being on, everybody. Love you all. Blessings. Thanks so much for being on the call, everybody.
Thank you,
Have a
Lawrence.
great weekend.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Thanks.
Thank you, Lawrence.
God bless. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you. Cheers.